Okay, all right, so this is OT Sales School. I'm gonna teach y'all how to do cold calling. It's much simpler than people think, okay? So where everything starts with is intent, okay? So Mike, you were mentioning earlier that some salespeople have an issue in terms of doing sales because probably they don't actually believe in the intent of what they're doing, right? They think maybe I'm wasting someone's time, they may not be interested in what I'm doing, yada, 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 yada. Well, that comes all down to intent. The whole idea here in sales is that you're not supposed to sell something to somebody that doesn't want your product. You want to find a product fit with a client fit. Okay, so everybody has people, a group of people they sell best to. You want to find those people because they either really resonate with vernacular, they like where you come from, whatever it is. Those are the ones that are going to work best with you. That's called your ideal customer profile, right? Those are the people you want to speak to, right? Now, what are you talking to them about is also very important. This comes down to intent. You want to speak to them in a manner that's actually going to resonate with them. So whatever you're selling has a value to them, right? And that's the whole point of the intent. So you can basically establish a solid intent by understanding I have something that's of value and I'm speaking to somebody that actually wants to speak to me, right? Past that, you need to understand specifically what the purpose of that conversation is. So a lot of people think in sales, the whole purpose is to get on this phone call and sell this product to them. That's essentially equivalent to a 70-yard back shoulder fade touchdown pass for a go-ahead win. It's possible to do, but highly rare. You don't want to do that. Usually, you sort of look at it from the perspective of like, what can I accomplish in 2 weeks? Generally, what you can accomplish in 2 weeks is introductions, right? Now, this is what comes down to SMART goals. So basically, the next thing is about intent modeling, right? So we want to make sure that when you're making these calls, that they're actually successful. And the best way to do that is by aligning your intent in making these calls with a SMART goal. Okay, so a SMART goal is actually an abbreviation for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. So this goes back to what I was trying to say. What's the purpose of getting on the phone in the first place, right? Is it to make a sale or is it to make an introduction? Now, making an introduction is actually a lot more closer to a SMART goal rather than just like, an intent that's not going to actually be efficacious, right? So we're to set that up. So what's the purpose of what's the purpose of the goal? So specific, we're gonna make it an introduction. Measurable, I want to be able to make 20 new introductions this week. Okay, right? Attainable, is 20 attainable to do? Yeah, that's like maybe 40 to 60 conversations with like a 33% conversion rate. I can do that, right? Very attainable. Relevant, is this relevant to your business? Well, yes, because by making these introductions, they will lead to later business by essentially presenting the value proposition of what we do, okay? Time-based, again, every 2 weeks, week, whatever you want to sort of set it up. Easy way to make sure that you actually model your intent in a way that's going to be effective in your sales strategy, right? Now, once we have that set up, because intent is everything. There's no point of doing anything in life without proper intent. A lot of people in life drift, and it's because they don't know what they're doing. They're not focused on what they're doing. They just wake up every day and they're throwing shit at a wall, for lack of a better term, right? Without intent, nothing else matters, okay? But once we have that established, we move on to the 3 prerequisites of cold calling, which are confidence, empathy, and curiosity, okay? Now I'm gonna break that down. Starts off with confidence. You need to be confident on these calls. Now, that does not mean just being like braggadocious and hopping on the call and thinking you're the best thing in the world. No, you're confident because your intent is in line with who you're speaking with. So you should be confident getting on the phone. You're not wasting anybody's time, right? You're presenting something to people that should be of value to them. There's a reason why I'm talking to you. I did my research. I know for a fact that you are in this role. I do this thing. Therefore, we should at least have a conversation on this topic because this should be your mandate, right? That's where the confidence comes from in the first place, right? Second thing is empathy, okay? Now, empathy essentially is being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Why is that important, cold calling? I need to understand what I can say to this person in a manner that's going to get them to understand. What am I saying in this conversation that's going to get them to stay on the phone with me? That's important to them. Because you can speak all day long in a manner that's you can communicate all day long in a way that you understand things. That's not going to get you anywhere. You need to figure out your messaging and put it in a way that will actually resonate and will be understood by the end person you're speaking with, right? For example, we're talking to a lot of project managers, project coordinators. These are busy people, okay? They don't have time to waste. As a matter of fact, they have suppliers calling them all day long, vendors, spam callers. They hate having their time wasted, okay? Right? So you need to understand that. Get to the point of what you're trying to display here in the conversation. Also understand, what am I saying to them that's actually going to be relevant to their job? We do parking. We figure out a way essentially to take time expenditure from their job away. this is what you're trying to present to them, right? And that's why they're going to stay on the phone. What am I doing for you, right? At the end of the day, that's the way you need to look at every conversation. Approach every conversation. What am I doing for you? Forget about like what I can get out of this conversation. Even that, if it comes down to intent, or what am I looking to get out of this conversation? How do I do that in a way that's in line with what's important to you, right? Because that's the easiest way to convert a sale. If my needs and your needs are on the same page, we can have an effective conversation. Period. Okay. So finally, the last prerequisite to a cold call is curiosity. Right? Now, why is that important? You need to have inherently the need to discover things in a call. Find more about their job. Find more about anything. The curious mind will be very beneficial for you in a conversation, because people always want to talk about themselves, what they're doing for work. Fuck, did their team win this weekend? You know what I mean? Right? At the end of the day, being curious in a conversation will really benefit you. Specifically when we're talking about the sales call, ask them about the problems that they're experiencing that are pertinent to their business. Okay, do you have problems parking? Yeah. Tell me more about the problems. Well, man, you know, honestly, like I have all these projects in the middle of San Francisco and like Chinatown. I can never find parking. Oh, no, wait, tell me more about it. Where was this last project? By actually having genuine interest and curiosity in the conversation, you will get more information, which will get you closer to the sale. Done. I'm gonna add one last thing. I always had a VP. He took a line from Jay-Z. Less words, more money. It's very easy to talk yourself out of a sale. Okay. One challenge that I'm always working on is saying less in every single conversation. Okay. You'd be surprised how effective you can be in a conversation by literally saying a third of what you're trying to say. So be very efficient with your words and allow people to talk more than you. There's something called the 2-to-1 principle. You actually want to have the person you're talking to talk twice as much as you are talking. And you can do that by asking them questions, okay? But again, less words, more money. You'd be amazed. And you can take that with everything. You'd be surprised. Even your personal life and conversations, try and cut down what you're trying to say, and you'd be amazed how far you can get in conversations, right? Okay, now, this brings me to the practice of the homework. We're not going to make one call today because we don't need to. You basically just need to practice these things and you will inherently become a better cold caller, okay? So what I want you to do from now till Thursday, and you can write this down, you're going to make one new friend per day, okay? Random person. The way you're going to do that is by introducing yourself, okay? Hi, I'm Mayu. Hey, I'm Yuvan. Da-da-da. The next thing, give them one compliment. People, you'd be amazed how far you can get with compliments. Amazed, right? Like, someone's got great shoes. Oh, those are awesome. Or those new where you get them from blah, blah, blah. They got a new, like, I don't know, like a expensive purse, whatever it is. People basically put on these things for a purpose. They want to be acknowledged. Compliments will get you very far. And this goes back to what I'm trying to say about empathy, right? How do you present yourself in a conversation that's actually going to attain this person's interest? What am I giving them to get something out of this, right? Compliment will take you there pretty far. Now, the final thing, which is the challenging part, is you have to learn one new thing about them, okay? Maybe it's something that they do. Maybe it's something that they're knowledgeable on that nobody else knows about. That's actually an easy way. Well, like, it sounds obscure. You can get into conversation with somebody and really just ask them randomly, what's something you know about that nobody else knows about? You know? What's like a random skill you have that you feel like you can outperform anybody else in, right? Easy way to build rapport, build a relationship. You become good at these things. You become good at making new friends, right? Through this methodology. Cold calling is not going to be a problem for you. Because again, like I said, you're going to understand your intent. You're going to be confident to get on those calls. You're going to be empathetic and understand how to actually communicate with them. And you can be curious enough to actually get all the questions you need answered on that call. And that is literally all it is. It's not rocket science. It's not like some sort of level of like master's level psychology. Simply put, it's just this.